tempo early, baby. Set it early. 40.
Listening to All Chiefed Up, the best damn Kansas City Chiefs podcast in the kingdom.
Chiefs Kingdom ACU crew, welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another live podcast for that ass. It's Thursday night. We're having a little live get-together, Steve. What's going on?
Not much, my man, not much. Not great news today. Bad news in Chiefs Kingdom today.
Yeah, we've had some pretty crappy news. Let's start with BJ Thompson. I think that's the most pressing, I would say. So most of you guys already know, but Tom Pelissero had come out. A lot of people come out. They said that BJ Thompson is in stable condition after he suffered a seizure, and then the seizure led him into going into cardiac arrest during a meeting this morning. Pretty sure that was a special teams meeting. That's what's been reported now. Says he was a 5th-round pick from Stephen F. Austin, whatever we know. So, yeah, there's not been any updates. He's still apparently in the hospital. He's probably going to be there overnight for tests, different things. The players actually, everything got canceled today, Steve. They're going to postpone that. They're postponing media till tomorrow. But, yeah, they did have to get together tonight and go play the Trey Smith, Justin Reed charity softball game. So, it's kind of wild. I'm sure it's kind of a somber mood for most, but yeah, what do you think about the BJ Thompson thing, man? I think it sucks to hear, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, it does suck. I mean, it's a young guy, a healthy guy that we thought anyway. I don't know if there's any like previous, like pre-existing medical conditions. I don't know.
Right.
And of course they won't say anything about that. But either way, it's just bad all around, right? Like you don't want to see that happen to anybody. On top of that, even if everything works out completely okay for him, there's going to be a recovery, and not just physically, but mentally and a lot of other things. And it just sucks, man.
Yeah, it's kind of crappy. It is what it is. But like I said, I was looking for reasons why this could happen. And I mean, they don't really give a lot for seizures and things. Like some of it can happen without. He may have a history of epilepsy. We don't know his medical background. It's possible. Like I said, I was looking up on Google, and if you look up anything on Google, everything's a symptom, and it said he could be dehydrated, it could be fatigue, it could be sorts of things that kick into seizures, and that usually when you go into seizure, there is a small percentage that the neurological part of your brain that causes your heart and your cardiovascular system to freak out. So it looks like that's what's happened. So I think the important thing is try to figure out if they can why the seizure happened, correct that problem, and then that's probably what triggered the entire cardiovascular, like cardiac arrest thing. So yeah. I feel like that's not maybe a big deal. Like once he, they got him stable and everything, I don't think that's going to be a big deal going forward. But yeah, you talked about it. When you go through like a medical scare like that or whatever, you get kind of medical anxiety. So he's going to have a lot to overcome because he's going to be, and that's where you want him to be able to pinpoint what happened. If they come in and say, well, we just can't really pinpoint it, then you're even more freaked out.
Absolutely, man, because of course your brain's always wondering like, when's it going to happen next? Or it happened out of the blue last time. So, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it, man, but hopefully everything just works out okay with him and quick recovery and everything like that. Definitely thinking about him, praying for him, because that's just a bad day, man. It's just a bad day. But we'll try to keep updated the best we can on that situation. Obviously, there's not really a lot out about it right now. We'll see how that recovery goes. But the other big news this morning before all that took place was Mecole Hardman signed back to a 1-year deal. And, of course, everyone knows how I feel about that. Like, not a huge fan of Mecole Hardman. I don't dislike him, but I don't really think it's necessary. I feel like it's just a comfort thing. Like, it's a familiar face. It's a guy that knows the playbook. I mean, that's about it. That's what he offers you.
He offers you speed, familiarity. I mean, like I said, the ceiling of the receiver room is not raised with Mecole Hardman. The floor may be raised a little bit. honestly, he may be a little more reliable in situations than what we've seen from Kadarius Toney to this point. He's probably more reliable than what Sky Moore's been able to pull out of his bag so far. Like, they're all they're just trudging below mid, to be honest. There's not even a mid there. I think Justin Watson would be like the mid, and they're below him. So you got to I think two things. This puts Nico Remigio, which is a fan favorite, at a disadvantage to make this roster if they're going to take 6 wide receivers. It really does. I don't think they go back to 7. I really do not think they experiment with 7 again. They could, and they may have just learned from their mistake last time of not trying to rotate all 7 in. And so just the best guys get to play, and we're not necessarily trying to get snaps. But this runs Justin Ross. Like, I think Justin Ross is off the team now. If Mecole Hardman makes this team, Justin Ross is not on the team. Well,
that's
and
why
Nico's
I
probably
hate
not
it.
there either.
That's why I don't like it. It's not that I dislike Mecole Hardman that much, which I mean, honestly, when we're talking about on the field, I'm not a huge Mecole Hardman fan. But what I really don't like about it is the fact that you literally just made the path harder for younger guys that could prove to be better in the long run than Mecole Hardman, like Nico Remigio, Justin Ross.
Well, it's not like Mecole's like super old.
No, he's a young guy, but I mean, we know what he is.
And I don't.
Do you really think that he's going to show up randomly at 26 and be like, now I'm better?
Right. It's a
we already know what he is.
Minimum, a 1 year vet minimum. But that just proves that I don't think there's any long-term plans there. So don't you want to see what you got from Nico? Do we finally want to get an answer on Justin Ross? Because that's not happening now.
Right.
I think the Justin Ross experiment is over.
Absolutely. You guys let us know in the comments what you think about that signing. And do us a favor, hit that like button real quick. Help us get out to more people. Appreciate you guys for being here. But Mike, yeah, that's my big knock with it. It's just the fact that we think they're going to take 6 receivers tops. We've already talked about how there's not room and it's going to be really, really tight anyway. Why are we muddying the waters with a guy that we know? Don't get me wrong. Early in his career, probably the first 3 years, Mecole Hardman had pretty decent stats for a young guy. It wasn't bad. He contributed. Yeah. But he fell off hard in the last 2 years he was with the Chiefs. And then they couldn't even use him at New York. Think about that for a second. He lost his job to a bunch of UDFAs. They said he had a poor attitude. He wasn't working hard. And he just wasn't talented enough to even make their team.
Right.
But we'll take your leftovers, Jets. Let's sign him back. And I understand last year signing him back because our wide receiver room was so bad last season that was like, let's try something. At least this guy knows the playbook and he could contribute. But we're past that. We won the Super Bowl again. Why are we doing it again? Like, we already upped our wide receiver room with Hollywood Brown. We already upped our wide receiver room with drafting Xavier Worthy. Why in the hell are we signing mid-Mecole? I don't understand it. I don't get it. But whatever.
Well, to me, this feels like they have to be out on people. I think you have to be. Like, is Kadarius Toney like straddling the line? Because I think it's him over Sky Moore, to be honest.
Well, that's the thing, man. It's like Kadarius Toney. He's not proved himself at all in the NFL. Like, in flashes, yes. He's shown everybody what kind of athlete he can be and how dangerous he could be.
He brings
if he's
no
playing
consistency. That's what you're saying.
You have no consistency there, but we know like his ceiling is ridiculously high.
Through the roof, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. Like, we know what Mecole Hardman is at his best. We've seen it. Kadarius Toney, it's like you're kind of waiting to see if it's going to pan out or not. It's looking like 90%. It's not. But there's a 10% chance he could be really, really good. But with Sky Moore, that's a guy that you spent a second-round draft pick on as well, and you're just going to scratch that after 2 years?
Right. I don't know where their heads
I don't know, man. It's weird to me.
Beach said in the offseason he expects big things from Kadarius Toney and big things from Sky Moore. They've said this 2 years in a row now.
Absolutely. You have to get big things from those two guys or they're done here.
So now that Mecole's back, though, one of those guys are out because I don't think Justin Watson's on the out. If we're taking 7, you've now just you've eliminated Nico Remigio and Justin Ross from the conversation.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. It's just very weird to me.
Yep. Got a 10 bomb.
10 bomb. Let's go, baby.
Greg. Good one, baby. Prayers for BJ. Boo for Hardman. WTF. Yeah. Greg, we missed you at the Members Only Live. I'm pretty sure you got selected to go on the Wheel of Death to win a Chris Jones shirt. or a Rashee Rice shirt, but we didn't see you in there, man, and that kind of sucks. But you've arrived. He's dropping the 10 bomb. We appreciate you, Greg. You're awesome.
Let's go.
Yeah, and shout out everybody that came over to the members only. And if you didn't get an invite, because we were just discussing this, we have 121 members on this channel, almost 30,000 subs. I think that
it's a much lower number than it used to be,
right.
actually.
The $4.99 membership, by the way, super worth it. You get it. You get to go in. We give away stuff all the time. Next month, today, by the way, we gave away a Chris Jones Nike Super Bowl shirt. We give away a Rashee Rice Nike Super Bowl shirt. And next month, get in on it. We've got a Dante Hall all chiefed up signed jersey. Like, it's going to be sick. We're giving it away next month. So get that $4.99. Go over there, get that membership, and join the ACU crew, Steve. And appreciate you, Greg.
Heck yeah, Greg. Let's go, baby. But yeah, so that's my thing. It's like, I don't think Mecole Hardman is useless or anything like that. I do think he is valuable somewhat, but I think most of his value lies in the fact that he has already knows the playbook. He's comfortable. Mahomes knows his tendencies. He knows Mahomes' tendencies. Like, there are some advantages he has, but I think it's just enough advantage to where maybe a different option might get overlooked. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I personally feel like Mecole Hardman's ran his course here. We know it's almost to me like if Sky Moore is still around, 3-4 years from now, and we're signing him to 1-year deals, and he never panned out. It's almost the same thing.
It's kind of strange. But also, when we brought Nico and made it official, Aaron Wilson reported that we waived running back Hassan Hall. So we just took another running back out of the running back room, in which we all thought the running back room was a little bit shakier than the wide receiver room. Now, I'm not saying Hassan Hall was going to make the team and be a significant piece, but you still took away another running back in a battle, and you put in another receiver in a crowded room. I don't hate the Mecole Hardman signing. I don't hate Mecole, but at the same time, I still don't understand how that makes things that much better.
It just makes you wonder,
I want it to move the needle.
Fans are ready to give up on Sky Moore after 2 years, right? And then even Kadarius Toney, because of all his issues, they're ready to give up on him. I don't see a big difference between those two and Mecole Hardman. I don't. Other than the fact that his first couple of years he contributed early on. That's the only difference, because since then he hasn't done anything. He caught that pass in the Super Bowl, but hell, Mike, I could have caught that.
Yeah, probably.
It wasn't a huge deal. Now, the first pass that he caught, the deep pass, that was good. I'll give him that. That was a nice route.
For sure.
Got the gifted membership from Ron, baby.
Got Ron in the house, baby, with the gift.
Ron's handing out the love.
There you go.
If you're feeling generous, hand out some memberships. Let people get in a chance to get that Dante Hall jersey.
For sure. That Dante Hall jersey is pretty sick. Hold up, I'll pull it out for you.
No, Mike's always pulling stuff out, man.
I'm going to clarify. I'm not pulling it out. I'm pulling out a Dante Hall jersey. Here we go.
Mike, you're going to catch a charge one of these days.
Dante Hall. Ooh,
there we go, baby.
The front. And then, boom, shakalaka. We've got the JSA signed, okay? Certificate of Authenticity. D Hall 82, ACU.
Let's go, baby.
Boom, there's the certificate. This bad boy is sick. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet. I didn't even want to break the seal. So when you break this little seal, you're going to sniff Dante Hall's Sharpie in his hand, okay? That's greatness from the X Factor right there.
I don't know if that's selling it. Nobody wants to sniff him.
Sniff his hand. The X Factor.
No, but
man.
For real, go be a member. Next members only in July. We're giving that bad boy away. Mike, we got a freaking 5 bomb from our boy Adam.
Let's go.
It says cloud hanging over Arrowhead today. My membership is under my music name. I don't know how to switch it. Shaking my head. Yeah, I'm not sure either. I think we talked about this, Adam. I'm not real sure. You could cancel that one and re-sign up would be the only way I would know to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably it. But it's just going to say you're a member. But I don't think there's no you know what I mean? You're just not, you're going to be set back on the, I've been a member for 3 months, 6 months. Some people will get that.
Yeah,
but
you get the different little badges and stuff. Yeah.
That's kind of sucks. But appreciate the 5 bomb, Adam. We know you've been with us.
We got a 2 bomb from Greg. He says, I didn't know about it. Damn. Yeah, man. So usually what we try to do is the first Thursday of every month.
Yes.
And that's what we try to roll with. Sometimes that gets switched depending on if our schedules don't align. But that's usually what we try to do. And we try to get it posted early in the day to give you guys a little bit of time to catch it too. But yeah, man, appreciate you, Greg. Ooh, what we got the Purge horn for?
We got HT Chiefs fan with a 5 all chiefed up memberships gifted out. That gets
Let's
the Purge
go.
horn, baby. I love it.
Heck
I
yeah,
love it,
appreciate you,
man.
Kyle.
Kyle's awesome. And you know what, Kyle? That's going to put you on the list as a top donor for the day, which means there could be a prize coming your way, baby.
Yep.
Could be a prize coming on Kyle's way.
For sure. And then we got a gifted membership from Tony G. This was a winner of one of the shirts today on the Members Only Live. Let's freaking go. A little air horn for her.
She crushed it. She got a...
she was in both Will of Death. She almost went back to back.
Yeah. She got a... She got the Chris Jones, baby. And as soon as I got off the live, I ordered it for you guys. Everything's going. Should be here in 3 to 4 or 5 days, and then I'll put it right out to you guys. So it's going to be a good time.
Let's go. Got our girl Brenda with the gifted membership,
Brenda,
too.
thank you so much.
Heck yeah, guys. You guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys. So, yeah, the Mecole Hardman signing, not surprising whatsoever. I think we all saw it coming in one way or another, and I didn't mean to click that if I did, but whatever.
Hey, we're just giving Brenda the thumbs up and the ACU crew legendary signs.
No, but we all saw it coming somewhat. I think some of us, like me, were just kind of like hoping, like, can we move on? Can we not? But
for sure.
It didn't happen that way. But I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm just kind of like, why? Like, I'm more like confused by
Steve,
it.
Steve, you're the opposite of Hornt over this. You were anti-Hornt.
The anti-Hornt. Tony G with a 10 bomb. She says, hit that like button, y'all. Heck yeah. Tony, you guys do us a favor. Take 2 seconds, hit that like button. It helps us out. Also, if you're new to the channel and you're just tuning in, appreciate you being here. We are all chiefed up. We do tons of Chiefs content, mostly video podcasts, but we do shorts, live streams, all that good stuff. Hit that subscribe button. Hang out with us more often. That'd be awesome. And also, you can become a member for $4.99. And we do members only live streams and things like that. So appreciate you.
Appreciate everybody being here. We got Joe. Says, are the Chiefs going to make the mistake again with too many wide receivers on the roster?
I hope
Joe,
not.
that was a big thing last year. I think too many wide receivers caused, and by the way, I don't know if it was the fact that they had 7 wide receivers or they were just way too loyal to one of those. Because for the first 5 to 6 games of the season, MVS got 90% plus of the snaps. And was he deserving of 90% plus of snaps? No, he was not. So they didn't want to take away stuff from him. We didn't see Justin Ross. Justin Ross never even touched double-digit percentages in snaps for the entire season. And it was supposed to be something we were going to see from him. Like, what do we have under our little wide receiver camp over here? Do we got us a nice little Justin Ross? Do we?
I was wondering what you're getting at there.
Yeah, I don't know what their deal is or why they're so weird with the wide receiver room. It's just odd to me. I get they don't want to pay them, so I guess they're just constantly bargain shopping.
I guess. Tony Gunn says, what's up, Phyllis? Cole on here giving y'all hell yet? No, but I didn't do it, whatever it was. I don't know why Cole wants to give us hell, but it wasn't me. Mike might have done it.
I may have done something to him. I think.
Heck yeah. Hey,
What?
Karth says Steve's not mad. He's just disappointed. Somewhat. It's not even disappointment. It's more just like, why?
Yeah.
Why? Like, what are
Parrot
we
says
doing?
Mecole has the speed, but not the plums.
Pretty much, man.
Look, I'm not feeling it in the plums. Hippie says she's unhorned. She's unhorned about it. We're all unhorned over it, okay? Wolfgang, who will be our final roster wide receivers? Well, look, if we take 6, we've got to let's count them off.
That's the $1 million question, right?
Hollywood's number 1. Xavier Worthy's a first-round pick. He's going nowhere. Rashee Rice. And look, I don't think Rashee Rice is even getting suspended this season.
Probably
It's
not.
possible, but you got to let the legal system play out, and we all know how long that takes. You know, unless they're trying to expedite you, so whatever they want to do to you. But other than that, they're not going to.
If they're trying to stop you from doing things, they might.
Yeah. So they've got 3 on the roster. We think Kadarius Toney's probably making it, Sky Moore's probably making it, and we think Justin Watson's probably a lock. So Now we got Mecole Hardman. So where's he come in and take? Who's he swipe in and take? It's probably not Justin Watson. It's got to be Kadarius Toney, or it's got to be Sky Moore.
Do you think? So I was thinking about it this way. Do you think Brett and Andy thought it might be a good little fire in the ass of Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, and those guys? Like, hey, McColl's here. If you guys don't do better, if you don't figure it out, then you're done for. Like, is it kind of like a little nudge? I mean, maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But, I mean, otherwise it don't make any sense.
It could be, man. We'll have to check it out. But we got Sam Lofton in here with a 20 bomb, baby.
Freaking 20 bomb. Let's go, Sam.
Let's go, Sam. Appreciate you. Brother, I thought Sam was going to win one of those drawings tonight. Didn't get it. Kind of the will of death. The will of death, it giveth, it taketh away.
Yeah, it's
the
cruel.
will of death. It's a fickle little thing there, Sam, but we appreciate the 20 bomb, brother. We got Rob in here with a 5. Rob Miller says, watch us win the Super Bowl again with Mecole Hardman catching the game-winning touchdown. I agree with both of you. I want Toney gone. Steve, I think Toney is probably the one with 1 foot out the door, because that 1 foot out the door is probably on its way to the X-ray room.
Only if he gets hurt. Like, that's the thing.
There it is.
I'm willing to excuse how bad Kadarius Toney was last year if he can prove it was just an off, like he was just going through something. Because if you go back to the year before that, the last half of the season where we won the Super Bowl against the Eagles, Kadarius Toney was a spark for our offense.
Yes.
He made some damn good plays. He made a huge punt return in the Super Bowl that set the tone for us coming back and winning that thing. Like, I think there's value there with Kadarius Toney. It's just, how do we get this guy's head on straight? How do we get him focused? And how do we keep him healthy? Because if you could do just those two things, like, let's get his focus where it needs to be and get his health where it needs to be. Kadarius Toney is a weapon. Let's not get that wrong. Like, he absolutely is. I think last year, all those drops, it was very uncharacteristic of him if you look back at his entire football career. Now, injuries, not so much. Injuries, it seems to be a trend. But I think that's what does it, though. I think if Kadarius takes a significant injury, it might be the end of him here in KC.
Do you think this is maybe us taking a shot with Mecole Hardman or Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore? Like I said, whoever wins, wins. Do you think maybe just having them under contract and maybe being able to pawn them off like we did Amir Smith-Marset for an extra draft pick come maybe camp time?
I think people don't want Mecole Hardman, though. See, I think it would, like,
what if he comes in and they gas him up? And then they're like, dude, he's looked really good in the preseason.
He's still known as the league snitch right now, though. So, I mean, I just don't see it happening.
I like Mecole Hardman, though, as a person.
I didn't say that. I just said he's known as the league snitch. So teams don't want him.
I guess so. We got Antonia in here with a 5 gifted
memberships.
Tony.
Let's
go, baby.
Heck yeah. If y'all get one of those memberships, make sure to thank them in the chat. Also, make sure you click up at the top to where you accept gifts. That way, if you want a membership, you can get one.
Oh, yeah. You got to accept it. Appreciate you, Tony. Tony's got a Chris Jones shirt coming. Now she's tied for top dono of the day. Look at this. There may be 2 winners unless somebody comes in and swipes you all. And then that's a 2-on-1, it's a 2-on-1 coming. Y'all might catch them in a back alley somewhere. And, if they take that away from you. But we also got Robert in here with a 2.
Let's go, baby.
I told y'all I'm back, baby. ACU all day.
Heck yeah, man. Good to see you, Roberto. Yeah, you swung into the members only at the last minute. I saw that.
Yes.
Good to have you back, my man. Let's go.
We also got us a little bit of there it is from Flapjack.
Flapjack, baby.
He said, did that guy live after dying in practice room? Did he technically die? Like, was he pronounced dead? I don't know if that's the case, but
just, cardiac arrest. He's supposedly stable. So hopefully,
look, there's not a lot we know. Something like that could have happened. Who knows? Like, that stuff's scary. That's not stuff you want to mess with, dude. And again, I don't think it was as serious maybe as the DeMar Hamlin incident that happened on the field where he was
the exact same thing, bro.
It is, but DeMar Hamlin was out for a long, long time.
Well, you don't know how long he was out.
That's true too. But I feel
it did say that the medical staff was there and
quick.
On it very quick, very diligent, and got everything handled quickly. But you got to think, if something like that happens and there's no one there, I mean, you're toast.
Yeah, that's crazy. But again, they did say it started with the epilepsy, the seizure, not epilepsy, my bad. So the seizure, and so the seizure triggered. So I would say once he started seizing, depending on how long that takes, which may take a little bit, maybe they were able to get people in the room before that even happened. That way, when that happened, they could, correct it the best you can. I don't even know how that happens. How do you correct? Like, can you correct it? What do you do? I feel like all this just makes you scared to death. Like, I just need to go to some kind of a class, like where they teach you how to do that, in case you need to use it in public.
What, CPR? You just use
Is that
chest
what you do
compressions.
in a cardiac arrest? Is that what you do? I thought you shocked them. What do you do?
No, you do chest compressions. If you have to use the defibrillator, you can. Like if there's no pulse, that's what that's for.
So what is cardiac arrest like in general? Is that just where your heart doesn't beat properly? It beats too fast? What's it doing? It stops?
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, it's scary, man. So I guess you just have to learn CPR. I'm going to go learn CPR. I think this has kind of triggered me into learning this.
You think so? You want to be
do I want to be at a restaurant and somebody need that and I could be there to help somebody and not do it? No, I think I should learn that. I think I should do that.
You make a fist.
Why not?
And then you put your other hand on top of it and you compress.
You had to take training, right? And then you use Queen, another one bites the dust.
I'm certified.
Man, you're
Actually,
certified.
It's probably ran out by now. Who knows? But hey, guess what? We got a 5-bomb from Rob.
My bad, man. I clicked it. Rob, he says, I want Tony to prove me wrong. He puts it all together. He could become one of the most dangerous wideouts in the NFL.
That's the thing, man. I think it's all upside there.
He's
got all of it.
Dude, he's got so much upside. But the amount of trust I have for Kadarius Toney to hit that upside, you could fit in the palm of my hand. And it's going to be not overflowing for sure.
That's the thing. It's not like we have a whole heap of faith that he's going to do this. The thing about it is like the guy definitely has the talent to do it. I mean, even when like Rob Gronkowski was critiquing him, he even admitted like, man, he runs routes like nobody else. He's fast. He can cut like nobody else, but he's just got to focus and do the little things right. And I think that's pretty much it in a nutshell, right?
100%, man. Appreciate it. Wait, I had one from Josh here. He says, Mike and Steve, I like what you guys do. Do you know what the Chiefs need to do?
You tell us.
I don't. Yeah. I would think I should know what the Chiefs need to do, but never.
And that purge horn was for our boy Greg Goodwin with the freaking 50 bomb. Let's go, Greg.
Greg comes in hot, baby. Greg's coming in hot today.
Coming in hot.
Dude,
Let's
Greg,
go, man. Y'all put some legendaries in chat for Greg. That's freaking awesome, brother.
That's amazing. And that puts
Appreciate
Greg in the lead for top donor, baby. And you know what that means? Greg's already got one top donor prize coming.
Greg's gonna rack up, man.
Greg,
Mike,
you know what?
You're gonna have to up your mystery gift game.
Yeah, I'm upping the mystery gift game. If Greg holds on for the win, I'm upping it. There's no telling what Greg might get. He could get a personal. I may send you to his house and you can cook dinner for him.
I do make a mean steak. Let me tell you.
Okay. Well, I can do a good lasagna, so let us know which one you like better in the chat. And we'll one of us will come on out there. And
hey, Greg, for real, man. Really appreciate that, by the way.
Yeah, man, that goes a long way, dude. We appreciate all you guys, whether it's $1, whether you're not even donating, just watching makes a huge difference for us, to be honest.
Absolutely. And then we got our boy Flapjack with another 5-bomb.
Yeah,
he says, if you could play in the NFL, what position and why? So here's the thing. Let's take it from the perspective of we have the talent, right? Because like when I played football, I played defensive end. Obviously, there's no way I could be a defensive end in the NFL.
Did you play offense? You were a dual player, wasn't you? I thought you played both sides of the ball.
No, just defensive end.
Okay. Dang, you were like you're special. You didn't have to play offense.
No, I think they tried to see if I could squeeze onto the O-line at like guard one time, and I got thrown around. I wasn't enough for that.
How tall were you in high school? Because you ended up finishing up about what, 6'4", 6'3"?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't think you were at your full height in high school, were you? You're probably like 6'1", maybe 6'2".
Something like that, yeah. But yeah, defensive end, and I would, honestly, that's where I like to play. It was fun, and that's what I would pick if I were able to do it and I was in the NFL. I would definitely do that, man. I just want to be after that quarterback, man. Just put the pressure on.
What about tight end? You can make a nice little tight end at 6'4".
Yeah, I don't know. I got hands. I just don't have the speed. But that hurts me at the defensive end too. So
yeah, I'm going to say, what position would I be? I'm going to say a coordinator. No,
for real, guard. You'd be a good guard.
Yeah, I played guard and tackle in high school, and then also on the defensive side, I played some defensive tackle. I played some defensive end. I even played a little stand-up linebacker on the scout team, and dude, I was a menace at stand-up. And they never let me play this in a real game, and I don't know why. I just wanted to be like Derek Thomas so bad, baby. We had orange and blue. That was our colors. We were the Cougars. So we wore orange and blue. They were
very similar to the Donkeys uniforms.
Our senior year,
it was
they looked just like freaking
It was like
Denver
if you
uniforms.
mixed Denver's uniforms with the Penn State Nittany Lions, that's what the uniforms look like.
I absolutely despised it because I was like, I have to put on a uniform.
Why do we have to be orange and blue?
Denver, dude. But you know what I wore under my jersey? I wore a Chief shirt underneath my pads. You
I
couldn't
remember
see
that.
it. And I wore a Derek Thomas headband every year. And I wore it under my helmet, and daggone it, I come off the edge like DT. I thought I was DT, but in reality, I looked like DT's grandma out there, putting those
Hey,
spin
man.
moves, putting people to sleep.
You know,
baby.
like when you're a kid, like I used to be like when I was really young, I'd be like outside in the backyard playing basketball, and I'd be imagining I was like all the guys in the NBA, like Michael Jordan and all those guys back in the 90s, and I'd be out there like having my own little highlight reel. Like that's kind of what you were doing in real time in a real game.
I was trying,
You're like,
man.
I'm Derek Thomas, baby. Let's go. Hey,
Play like
appreciate
a
you, Flapjack. We got a 10 bomb from our boy Shane. What's up, Shane?
Let's go,
Good to see
Shane.
you, brother. He says, what's up? Wish I could stay for the live chat. Just popped in real quick to say hi. Got my subscription to Patreon the other day. Totally worth it. Appreciate you, Shane. Thanks for letting people know about that, because while we're at it, y'all put some legendaries in the chat for Shane, by the way.
100%.
Longtime supporter there. But while we're talking about our Patreon, it's patreon.com/allchiefedup. It is just $1 a month to be a patron, and you get bonus stuff. Like I got it right here, baby. You don't even have to pick it up.
Oh,
Got it right here.
Show it to
Boom,
him, baby.
check that out. Let me get this comment off the screen. Appreciate you, by the way, Shane. But win a signed jersey for just $1. How do you do that, Mike? You become a member of our
just
Patreon.
remember-
So if you're a member on Patreon, or a patron, if you will, this is $1 a month, and every month we're giving away a signed jersey to one member.
Maybe a jersey. It could be a helmet. It could be something. It's something signed.
Yeah, so something cool we're giving away every month. All you have to do is be a member there, and you're automatically entered every month. And you get all kinds of bonus content. So we try to at least do one piece of content a week for over there. We would like to get to where we can do more content for there. So like the more time, the more support we get. Yeah, but appreciate you, Shane.
So that's awesome, man. So yeah, if you're a member here, you got a shot at winning a Dante Hall jersey at the beginning of July. You got the beginning of July. If you're a Patreon member for $1, you got a chance to win a Will Shields. There's so much stuff to coming. I'm actually, Steve, I've got an NFL pylon coming to me.
Nice. Later, Richie. Have a good night, brother.
Yeah, later, Richie. I got a pylon coming to me. I'm not going to tell you who signed it. Who has signed it to give away to the ACU crew. But it's a current Chief player, and it's an NFL pylon. So it's the bright orange pylon. I don't know what you guys are going to do with it. You hang it. Maybe you put it in your backyard, and you make diving touchdowns at it. I don't know what you do. But that's going to be one of these next few months. So
yeah, for sure.
Got a lot of fun stuff to give away.
That'd be awesome. What's up, Flip? I see you out there. Hope you're doing well, my man. There was a question somewhere. Here we go. Josh, he says, Mike and Steve, this is what the Chiefs should do. Is get Dylan Cole, linebacker free agent. He's my brother. Look him up. He's a good player. I've heard the name Dylan Cole before. Why do I know it?
I don't know.
I'm assuming he was in college last year. I don't know. You'll have to let us know.
Was he?
Let
has
us
he already
know,
been in the
Josh.
league? He's not the Dylan Cole that played for the Titans, was he?
Maybe that's why I know that name.
He played at Missouri State.
Nice.
Huh.
Heck yeah, man. I'll look him up later. I'll look him up. I always like watching tape on guys.
Why does Google tell you everything?
Let's get Josh's brother onto the Chiefs, man. That would be sweet.
His mom or his dad's name's Tacoma, and his mom is named Tracy Cole. This is wild. I've never heard of the name Tacoma.
Yeah, you
I
have.
kind of like
The
it.
Toyota truck, baby.
Yeah, maybe big Toyota fans out there. I love it.
Yeah, I dig it. I'll go look him up later, man. For
It's pretty
sure.
sick.
Mike, we got a 10 bomb from Stephanie Walker.
Stephanie, what's up?
So I like Ross. I hope he makes the squad. I think him missing some games cut into his playing time. I also watch you guys all the time. Appreciate you watching, Stephanie. Good to hear from you, by the way.
Appreciated.
But yeah, so I think Ross didn't help his case last year when he got in all that trouble, right?
Yeah.
And So that kind of put a little wrench in the gears for him, but he still had a lot to prove. And he don't get a lot of snaps. So when he's out there, he has got to put up or shut up, man. I mean, pretty much that's what it comes down to with Ross. Like, when you get the opportunities, you have to make the best of them. Because I think he did get some snaps in early games last year. I mean, all the way up to the flu game against the Broncos, where we totally shat on the 50-yard line and just didn't play football. He still had opportunities in that game, but nothing ever happened. He never got the ball thrown to him. Now, is it his fault that he didn't get targeted? I don't know. But just from watching the tape, you don't get much separation, so could be. But he's got a lot to prove. I like him too. I think he's got a very high ceiling. But once again, if they keep adding guys like Mecole Hardman, it's making it a tougher road for these young guys.
Right. He actually played in 10 games last year. So he played in 10 games. He played in week 1 through 7. I think right around then is when he got in trouble maybe. And then he come back for 16, 17, and 18. And after playing all those games, he only received 11 targets, and he caught 6 of them. So, according to PFF, he had 2 drops. He had 2 drops against Minnesota. So, that's weird. You know what else is funny? That was the game he got targeted the most. So, he was targeted 4 times. He had 2 catches and 2 drops, 28 yards. He made a good catch that game. That was the one that Mahomes threw a little back shoulder fade on him. He, lost somebody. Against the Chargers, he also had 4 targets. He had 2 receptions that game. Yeah, he just didn't get a lot of looks, but like you said, he doesn't get a lot of separation. They actually used him in the slot a little bit. They used him in the slot. 40% of his snaps against Detroit was in the slot. 67% of his snaps against the Chargers in week 7 was in the slot. So they experimented with him in the slot. But he still wasn't getting open there. So
your mother's a slot.
Yeah, your mother's a slot. But look, I say, look, at 6'4", 210, you'd think he'd be a matchup nightmare. And we said that you have to play him in the slot because he doesn't create a lot of separation. But when he got his chances to play the slot, it didn't pay off. So maybe they're just done with him. Again, these receivers, big receivers like that, those big prototype X receivers do not work in Andy Reid style offenses. They just don't.
Yeah.
We've seen it time and time again, so I hate it for him because I like Justin Ross, but I don't know, man. With that Mecole Hardman signing today, makes it tougher, I think.
Yeah, Spaces, I thought he was going to be our Mike Williams. I think he could be a player, similar to like what Mike Williams can do, but he's also very similar to Mike Williams in the fact that he's injury prone. He's got some medical problems, so that hurts him too. But, yeah, man, I just want to see these young guys compete. And I think maybe that's what they're doing with Mecole Hardman, throwing him into the mix to be like, hey, you're not getting a free ride onto this roster. Like, y'all got to prove it. You got to make the team. You got to work. Maybe it's, like I said, maybe it's a little kick in the ass to people like Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Daniel?
What's going on, Daniel?
What's going on, brother?
Good to see you. Heck yeah, man. So I put a poll up. I just wanted to get a feel for like overall, which I think I think more people like the Mecole Hardman signing than don't like it, but I still kind of want to get a feel for what you guys in the chat think. So vote on that poll. I just want to see if you're a fan of the signing or not.
Steve Brian Parrott says he thinks the Mecole signing indicates remaining questions on Worthy. That maybe Worthy's got some. You think maybe the hamstring injury could be a little more of a problem than they're letting on, and maybe they just want Mecole in here for the mandatory OTA coming up next week?
I do not think there's any correlation between the Mecole signing and Xavier Worthy. None. I don't. I think, first of all, the little hamstring thing, like, that's just typical. What's the word I'm looking for here? Just being cautious, like things like that. I mean, we've seen it with almost every player on the team. Especially when they were young. Like, you saw it with Felix. They held him out because of his hand. Sky Moore, they held him out because of a hamstring. I feel like it's pretty typical. But, like, Xavier Worthy, they know he has the ability. And you haven't seen him play yet. So I don't think you do anything to help that situation when you don't even know what you got yet. What if he gets out there and he's the best receiver on the football team, counting Hollywood and everybody else? Like, what was the point of signing Mecole Hardman? You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I don't think Xavier Worthy necessarily played into that. I think it comes more down to, like I said, maybe being a little kick in the ass to people like Sky Moore, Kadarius Toney, And it also could be like a depth piece, like a veteran depth piece that knows the playbook and all that stuff. Like you said,
Right.
someone familiar.
Yep. I wanted to bring this up. We haven't talked about it yet, but Xavier Worthy got his contract. They agreed to the 4-year deal, blah, 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 blah. Standard rookie. I'd actually posted up. I couldn't confirm this when it was breaking, but we kind of thought it was going to be 4 years, 13.45. It turned out that Phil Yates actually said it was 4 years, 13.79, Steve. So 13.79, we thought 4.5s were right in the ballpark.
He had to get that extra cash in there to pay for his car that got stolen.
Right. And then also we done a little research, and that comes in just over Jordan Addison's rookie deal from last year. So Jordan Addison was drafted number 23 by the Vikings, and he signed at 4 years, 13.73. Worthy was actually selected 5 spots later, but he comes in about $600,000 or whatever that would be. No, 7.3, 6.79.
That's a decent
It's a
rookie
big
deal.
chunk, about 60 grand, something like that.
That's a good rookie deal. Speaking of, though, I'm not trying to change the subject, but do we know what the numbers are on the Mecole Hardman deal?
Yeah, it's league minimum, I think. It's just going to be the league minimum.
He gets a free meal at Q39 once a week.
I don't even know if he gets that, dude. I think he might. He gets like a. He gets like, you know, like when you go to McDonald's sometimes back in the day and the ice cream machine was broken, and sometimes they'd give you that little free ice cream card for the next time. And they had to stop doing that because they can't even keep that crap together, bro.
That's hilarious, dude. We got a 5-bomb from our boy Jared. What's up, Jared?
He said that post sucks ass tonight, Steve.
Oh, success. Of course we don't want Mecole Hardman.
I hate the signing. Use
It's
that money
funny.
elsewhere.
It is funny, though, because, like, I know how I feel about Mecole Hardman comes across as hate. But I really don't hate the guy. Like, I feel like off-field stuff, like, I feel like he's a pretty cool cat. And I think all the people in the locker room get along with him. So there's team chemistry with him and things like that. But it's just like I was saying earlier on the members-only live stream, I just don't see the point. It's not that I hate it. It's just like it's confusing to me why we continue to keep giving Mecole Hardman chance after chance after chance, but everybody's so willing to throw Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney out the door in less than 2 years. Or in 2 years, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I see it. I also...
He did put up better numbers in his early on. His first, 2-3 years
Right,
was
that's
pretty
what I
solid.
see with Mecole Hardman. And
Yeah.
so... But you got to think about it. Is he going to get snaps over... is he getting snaps over, say, Hollywood? No. Is he getting snaps over the
Right.
top 3? Probably not. So it's like, well, what are you using him for? We just brought him in at league minimum, I guess, for a nice backup and some gadgets, right?
Right, and here's another thing, another way we could look at it, I guess. Earlier, Mike, I mentioned that he's known as the league snitch, and no one really wants him. Like, it's well noted, everybody knows that the New York Jets said that he had a terrible attitude when he came in, that he didn't try to even earn his spot. He felt entitled. Well, when you get drafted to a team that wins Super Bowls like the Chiefs are, you might walk around like your shit don't stink.
By the way,
I think that's what he did.
You pissed him off on Twitter last year, the year before, when he was trying to sell himself.
When he
on
was
free
shopping
agency.
himself. Well, no,
Yeah.
and it's funny. He got pissed because it was true. Like, I'm sorry, but if it's that far, you were that deep into free agency and you hadn't signed with nobody, and you're putting up practice tape of yourself talking about how you're better than other guys in the league, that's you shopping yourself.
Yeah.
And all I did was say is Mecole Hardman is a slow free agency for Mecole, and he got pissed about it. The reason why I got pissed is because it was true. That's 100%. But either way, he couldn't even work out with the Jets, bro. And now everybody thinks he's a snitch. Like, but all that is what I was getting at. Is do you think they're re-signing him because they know that if they put him on the practice squad, that they have him available in case of injury or suspension,
Possibly.
and that nobody else will go after him?
Possibly. And check this. If he signed here for league minimum, that means nobody else even offered him league minimum.
Yes, exactly.
And we're 3.5 months into free agency. Or do you think they offered him minimum and he was like, no, I'm worth more, but then he decides he just wants to come back to the Chiefs for a bargain price?
It's nothing to do with the bargain price. No one else offered him anything. I guarantee you, Mike.
Yeah,
and I'm just not saying this because of Mecole Hardman, but just all receivers in the NFL, all football players, they're going to take more money if they can get it. If someone else offered him more, he would have went. It's the end of story.
Yeah. Macca says didn't vote. You didn't put a man on there. Yeah, I think a lot of people are just in like.
Well, that's where I'm at with it too, sort
Just
of. But
kinda
I
on the
don't.
fence.
Well, here's the thing: if you're meh, you probably aren't like a fan of the signing.
I feel
right?
like if you're man, what's the point?
That's where I'm at.
If you want man,
100%.
let Nico try to play a little bit. Let Remigio try to maybe make the roster. Do something. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. It just muddies the waters a little bit in an already tight wide receiver room, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But competition, man.
Right. Sam says,
totally
do we need a new wide receiver coach? I don't know.
No.
I'm on the fence about it. I will say that the kid is young.
Connor
He's
Embry.
pretty much unproven, and yeah, he struggled a little bit, but I don't think he's not out here running these dudes' routes.
Well,
And he's definitely
that's
not
my
catching
thing
it
with
for
it.
him.
Are you really going to judge a guy in his first year at wide receiver coach with the league's worst wide receiver room?
Yeah, they didn't give him much, did they?
Connor Embry had nothing to do with Kadarius Toney going through the yips. Had nothing to do with him. First of all, and they still won the Super Bowl with the worst wide receiver room in the league. I think Connor Embry was a scapegoat for some people because they were frustrated. I think you have to give this guy another year or two to see how he actually coaches wide receivers with some talent, like Hollywood Brown, Xavier Worthy. How does he develop that guy? Then we'll talk. But last year, that's just unfair, man. That's like being like, here's a big fat turd, polish it up for us. I'm sorry, but pretty sure Connor Embry's not a miracle worker.
Yeah, for sure. Charles says, what secret was he trying to give away that was worth anything that come out of the Jets?
Nothing. I think a lot of that might have been BS too, but that's still.
I think it was too. I don't think that was even true. Well, they said he leaked stuff to the Chiefs, but that makes zero sense because the Jets played the game of their life versus the Chiefs, and we look like crap. So if you leak stuff to us, why did we look so bad?
Right. I don't think there was anything to that, but I think that was just. That's basically what it was he was on the Jets and he was leaking information to the Chiefs, right? So if you get called out like that and that's the viewpoint people have on you, that's the perspective they have, you're going to have a hard time finding a team that wants you. So I'm pretty confident no one else offered him.
Yeah, for sure. Ian, prayers for BJ Thompson. We opened the show talking about BJ. I think everything's going to be good with him. I really do. He's young, and but we don't know his medical history again. Like I said, he could have epilepsy. He could have he could be taking a medication. If he took a medication and maybe he stopped or forgot it, combined with maybe, didn't have breakfast, his electrolytes got low, exhaustion, fatigue, anything could trigger that. And then that triggered the second part of it. So I don't know. Hopefully he's all good to go. And I don't think it's going to mess with his football. You know what I mean? I don't think he's going to come out and they're going to be like, well, you can't play football ever. I don't think that's a thing because I think this was a secondary problem to the seizure. So for me, I just don't think it's a problem.
Right. Yeah. Dom thinks it's a problem.
He does. He's freaking out. What's wrong with that baby?
I think he just got the news that they re-signed Mecole Hardman.
Somebody give that baby some food and some cartoons or something. What's happening?
Quit torturing my son upstairs.
Yeah, Sam says, will he be on IR? I don't think so. Now, look, he made the team last year. He did make the 53, right? BJ made the cut, I think.
Yeah.
So he was well on his way again this year. And the weird thing about BJ is that when they drafted him, he had played at Baylor, Stephen F. Austin, and he was not a prototypical SPAGS set the edge kind of guy. He was more of the stand-up kind of.
He was a different type.
Yeah, so we were kind of taking a chance on him anyway, but I think he was doing okay. And so I was expecting him to kind of take a step forward this year, and I still think he will. I don't think this is going to be anything that goes, unless they go in and they run some tests and they realize maybe he does have some kind of condition or something. And that needs to be what we pray for, that this dude doesn't have something that's going to affect him going forward. Because I think anybody can have medical blips. All that can happen. I've been in classrooms before where a kid's sugar got low and he had a seizure from it, and everybody was scared to death. That's not a fun sight to see. Could you imagine all the guys in there with them, with one of their brothers there? Just that's not fun. So I hope everything's good with him. I think he'll be fine. I think he's going to come back and play this year, and I remain positive with it.
Yeah, for sure. Ray says, Mike and Steve, who's the bigger headache on the team, Tony or Hardman? Kadarius Toney. As much as I'm not a fan of the Hardman signing, I feel like Kadarius Toney is definitely more of a headache. They've got to get him focused and get his head on straight. And Mike, you mentioned this in a video or a live that we've done previously, but you said, isn't Kadarius Toney just kind of a lone wolf? Like, he seems like he's like kind of a loner type guy. So like him not being at voluntary OTAs or him not working out with Mahomes and them, which he did, by the way. Is it really that telling? Is it that he don't want to work on things, or is he just kind of a loner type guy? And I do get that vibe from Kadarius Toney, but I feel like he's got to make the extra effort to prove to everybody that he's trying to be the best football player he can be. Because from the outside looking in, it's just like, it is kind of a headache. It's like the guy just doesn't care, you know? I don't know.
Look, Mecole Hardman, I don't think for the Chiefs has ever been a healthy scratch going into the playoffs. If he's been available, he's been there. I'm pretty sure.
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
maybe early in his career, but I'm almost positive he's not. Mecole Hardman's never got on Instagram and trashed the Chiefs organization, calling them a bunch of liars. Okay? I thought Kadarius's ass was grass when he did that. And for some reason, that dude is like freaking Teflon. Like, nothing has stuck to him. When he's DMing people crap, when he's like going on crazy tirades, when he's doing all this stuff. And look, I don't know him personally. I'm sure he's a nice dude. But I don't think his head's in the right place. I don't have any confidence in Kadarius Toney to come in and beat the contract year. I don't. And I think maybe Brett Veach and Andy's right there with us, and I think that's why they signed Mecole Hardman. And for that reason, I'm not going to go against Veach.
I've been watching too much Shark Tank because when you said for that reason, I almost said I'm out.
I'm out. Well, I feel like, okay, for that reason, I'm out with Kadarius Toney. Like, he's got to get it together. If he comes into camp, we're going to see him in a week, because here in a week or two, not for sure on the exact date, but it is mandatory OTAs. Mm-hmm. He has to have his ass there. He better come in and it better be on fire, and he better be making plays.
Yeah. John Clifford says, I hold the receiver coach for Toney not being there or focusing. I think that's unfair. I mean, you could take it a step further and say that you hold Andy Reid accountable, because I mean he's in charge of the receiver coach. Like, I don't think Andy and them see it that way. I don't think I do either. I think this is all on Kadarius Toney. It's all voluntary. I mean, that receiver coach has nothing to do with if Kadarius Toney wants to show up for voluntary OTAs. So
yeah,
I don't know. I think. And, I mean, if Andy can't have them focused, if winning Super Bowls don't have you focused, if being on a team with the best quarterback to ever play football don't have you focused, I highly doubt a year or two receiver coach is going to be able to do any much more. But then again, I mean, maybe it is some kind of like smaller, tighter relationship where somebody needs to have some tough love there, because it seems like to me that people aren't giving it to Kadarius Toney.
Yeah, are they scared? Are you scared of him?
Yeah.
Like,
why'd you get so dark all of a sudden? There you go.
You like
what is
it?
that?
It's just my computer flipping through different pages. So if I'm on a white page, I'm a little more. Yeah, you scared me over here, man. I was like, what's going on? Yeah, see, my camera keeps adjusting a little bit. I've got it darker in my room a little bit. I realize if I keep my all chiefed up light on over my shoulder, it turns into the sex dungeon. So my camera don't want to focus, so I've got it off for the time being.
We don't need all of that. We don't need Mike horned up in the sex dungeon.
Don't get it horned up in here. But, yeah, man, I don't know. I want to see everybody do well, but my faith in KT's just, it's wavering, man. It's just, I don't know.
Ian says, I heard Sterling Shepard went to Tampa Bay. He did. Yeah. I saw that.
It's a lot of weird signings today, in a way.
There is.
It like go get random wide receiver day?
I remember it was a year or two ago where people were talking about the Chiefs getting Sterling Shepard. I was never a huge fan of that.
Right.
Like, I think he's okay, but it's just more mid. Like, there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I was always a big advocate of trying to get like a big name receiver, or like not even just big name, but somebody that contributes. Like, we were really big on trying to get D-Hop. Of course, all the Chris Jones stuff was going on, but it was like, why do we keep signing all these middle of the road, like, guys that don't contribute much? Let's get somebody. And I like the Hollywood signing, though. I think that's a good one.
Right. Nikki says Nate Taylor said KT didn't even go to the White House. if I'm not mistaken, KT, and I think Brian Parrott said it before, I think his girlfriend or something just had a baby. So maybe he's on like some kind of paternal leave. I don't know what they call it exactly. So maybe that's a reason he's getting out of all this stuff. But I mean, he wasn't at the hospital when we seen him. He was on some kind of a boat. That wasn't even a boat. That was like a ferry. Like you drive your car onto it. You go to like an island or something, man. Where was this guy at? Maybe the hospital for his wife to give birth was on some kind of secluded island.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's a mystery. He's very he's a very mysterious person. Like you never can get a handle on Kadarius Toney. You know what I'm saying? Like he's very hard to read.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure the teams might be having that same problem. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Iowa, 24.
Iowa.
Let's hope I pronounced that right. Iowa with an H instead of a W. Do you think Felix is a bust, Steve?
Absolutely not. I don't think you can call that yet, right? I mean, he had some opportunities early on, but of course, I don't expect someone to come straight into the league and just take it by storm at defensive end. It don't happen very often. I mean, even people like Trayvon Walker, who were taken way higher than Felix was taken in the draft. Yeah, I mean, they take a while to develop. I think this year will be a little bit telling for Felix. But even if Felix doesn't have the biggest year this season, I still think you have to give him a little bit of grace because, I mean, it's just a second season.
Don't you feel like all draft picks deserve at least their rookie contract?
Yeah, I mean,
I know think people don't want to do it, but at 4 years.
Well, I think after year 3, you can kind of tell. I think that, like, to me, I feel like that 3-year mark, once they play 3 seasons, like, you should already be able to see what's happening here.
Isn't there a reason, though, like the NFL and everybody's settled on 4 with a possible 5? Like,
I mean, I get that. I do. But I do think about third season in. I mean, I'm sure there's been situations where a guy has a breakout year his 4th year, but I feel like most of the time by the 3rd season, you kind of see what that player is.
I'm with you. I think that once you get to year 3, you kind of know what they're going to do. Like, you can see.
And
like,
that's why this
George.
is a huge pivotal year for Sky Moore this year.
Right. Yeah, like look at Karlaftis, man. He comes in, he does okay his first year. They said he's slow, he don't have the step. Last year, he upped it. This year, I think he ups it again, man. This is going to be a big pivotal year with George, too, because this may decide whether or not they go ahead and extend George out long term, even though I'm almost positive they're picking up a 5th-year option on George Karlaftis. That's for sure.
Yeah, Flip says, putting myself in KT's shoes. I mean, it's voluntary. I wouldn't want to cut my summer short either. But then again, if I was getting paid millions of dollars, I'll work all year nonstop just to play catch. Man, so that's the thing with Kadarius Toney. It's honestly, it's okay. It's voluntary. He don't have to be there. But my whole point this whole time has been, if you're coming off your worst season in your career, hell, the worst season he's had as a football player in his entire life, and people are, you know, kind of have a negative perspective of you at the time. A lot of people's calling for your job. A lot of people think your career's done. I think that's when you have to show them that you're putting the work in. And something very easy to do that would have been to show up to voluntary OTAs. Yeah. Like, so I feel like it's the least he could do to show people that he's being serious about it. This leaves it open for debate. That's why we're able to talk about it, Mike. We've been able to talk about it for the last 30 minutes. Because, I mean, if he would have just came to voluntary OTAs, I feel like that takes a little bit of heat off of him in a very pivotal year.
Yeah, 100%, man. I think that's the thing about Kadarius Toney. That's the difference. A lot of people are like, yeah, I don't want to give up my summer. I don't want to do this. But we all look at our jobs as like, you're looking at it as like school. You don't want to go to school. Kids don't want to go to school. They wanted the time off. You don't want to go to your job, right? But I feel like the NFL is a game. Like, I think the good players don't look at the NFL like work. They look at it as like a privilege for them to be there. And I don't think Kadarius Toney's in that boat. I think he sees it as a freaking job he don't like. Like, he wants to rap.
Well, that's the weird thing, though.
Sadly,
it's like, even from an outside perspective, if you have a really good job that's giving you a very good life for you and your family, and you just said he had a kid recently.
Yeah, Nikki said that he actually, they had that before the Super Bowl.
Okay, yeah, but either way, like, if you had a really good job that was making a good life for your family, especially now he has kids, it's like, don't you put in the work there to make sure that you sustain it? Like whether you, even if it's not your biggest passion, like Mike, me and you'll put in all the work we can into this channel. Yeah. We do it on a daily basis. You do it above and beyond. But we put in more work to this than we do a day job. But if that day job was something that was paying you millions of dollars and making your life what it is and secure, making your family secure, wouldn't you put in the extra work? It's strange to me.
Yeah. And I mean, it feels like he's already got there. He's already got some money, and like he just don't.
Does he though? He's on a rookie contract. He don't have like generational
that's
wealth.
That's my
like
thing.
His kid's not even set. Hell, they're not even set. Once he has to buy groceries one time for that family, he's going to realize he screwed up. You know,
for sure.
I just think it'd be different if the guy was already had a big fat contract and he was already played through most of it. That'd be different. But trying to get there, you're messing up, bro. You've got to focus.
Dude, I wish. Yeah, Sam said it was a pontoon. It wasn't. I actually had a real look. He posted another picture to his Instagram story, and he wide framed it out. And that
the
exact
ferry
boat, Kadarius Toney, and it was actually a ferry. There were cars on it, and I screenshotted it, and I thought I put it up somewhere. And if I put it in my phone or I put it on our uploads, it got deleted because we always have to clear space because our videos and stuff are so like big it clogs up our phones and things. So. Yeah, dude, I had it. I wish I had it, though, but I swear to you guys, you just have to take my word for it. If you don't want to, don't. But I'm almost positive, like, it was the exact same picture, and then he widened it out and reposted it, and there were cars on the pontoon. And I think he just put
on the pontoon?
Well, it's not a pontoon. What's it called? A ferry, I guess?
Yes.
But, yeah, people thought it was a pontoon, and I honestly did it first. But then I was like, it looked like a metal railing on it. And then when he widened it out, it had cars. And I wish I had it, and he just posted on his story, so after 24 hours, it disappeared. So I wish I'd have kept that screenshot, but I screwed that up. But
Jared said he had one good punt return, and everybody is horned the F up. I don't think it's just that. I mean, I think if you go back to that season, he came in about halfway through the season, didn't he? He had some pretty good games, and he brought a spark to a stale wide receiver room at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. Like I think, like in particularly, like off the top of my head, I can remember like the Jacksonville Jaguars game. I think he scored his first touchdown, and there were a couple other games where he contributed big time too. And people got excited that hey, we got a receiver that can really do some things. Last year, he just folded under the pressure, man. I think there's more to it than that, Jared. I think it's just like more hope that he can actually hit his ceiling more than anything.
Yeah, I don't even know. But, yeah, I think that's what it is, too. I just wish Kadarius Toney would get it together. I just don't feel like he's there. Sky Moore's the one that I want to see, though. I think Sky Moore this year's pivotal, and Sky Moore has to get it together, 100%.
Absolutely,
this is his year. I'm tired of making.
I'm going to get back to Sky in just a second because I have something to say about that. But Donkey Pond says, "Why are so many of these receivers in the league, including on the Chiefs, so unhinged?" It really is weird that wide receivers are the biggest prima donnas in football. They all like, I don't know, man. I'm right there with you. I don't understand it either. I don't. And the only thing I can say is it's like one of the sexy positions, like right, like it's a skill position. A lot of guys that are on the offensive line, you don't really get divas, like. Or like linebackers, you don't get a whole lot of divas other than like Micah Parsons.
Right.
But I think just being in the spotlight, and then a lot of those guys come from like high school and college where they were the man, and they're just so used to it. There's a lot of ego involved, I think, Dunking Pond. That'd be my only guess. But back to the Sky Moore thing, Mike. I think Sky Moore, what he really needs to do is to man up. And it's more like I feel like Sky Moore, he's putting in the work, and I feel like there is a high ceiling for Sky Moore, but I feel like he's too content with sitting in the background. He's too content with being the guy that's not in the spotlight. Sky Moore's got to grow a set, man, and step up and claim a spot on this team and contribute. Like, you can only sit around in the shadows for so long when you're a second-round draft pick. Like, I think he's just got to man up.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think Sky Moore has got to what's the word I want to say? To me, it's not even like focusing. For me, I feel like Sky Moore's done a lot of things. If you guys remember, Sky Moore started a YouTube channel and he was doing a series last year. Do you remember that, Steve? Where it showed him working with Mahomes in the offseason, and he's been in Texas throwing with Mahomes every year. He's at all the voluntary workouts. Sky was set back a little bit in his rookie season. He missed a lot of his rookie camp with some hamstring injuries. Surprise, surprise, Xavier Worthy. I'm hoping Xavier Worthy doesn't have the same kind of trajectory here.
I mean, it's just a common thing with receivers.
But Xavier Worthy also played at Texas in bigger competition than Sky. So Sky just has a lot of things going against him, but he's got to get it together. In my opinion, this is Sky's make or break year. And would it surprise you if they don't take him into the season? Like, it would surprise the hell out of me if they cut him. Would it surprise you if they traded him?
No, but like I've just cutting him just seems outrageous.
Cutting and practice squad's out. I think trade's the only way.
Second round draft pick with a high ceiling. I don't think you just dump him after 2 years. I think you give him the shot. But we'll see how it goes. But just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. Please do us a favor and hit that like button real quick if you haven't already. It just takes a second. Also, if you're new to the channel, thanks for hanging out. Hit that subscribe button. Hang out with us more often. We're going to be around for a little while longer tonight. We already did members only live stream earlier, so we'll be here for a little while longer as well. So thanks for hanging out, and get some questions in if you want those in, and appreciate you guys. Also, just real quick, I want to mention again, I'll make it fast, but if you become a member on patreon.com/allchiefedup for just $1 a month, you will be eligible for a drawing every month by just being a member. And this month in June, we'll be giving away a signed Will Shields jersey. And then also, if you want to become a member here on YouTube, it starts at $4.99 a month, and we're giving away a signed Dante Hall jersey at the next members only live stream at the beginning of July. So do it to it, Lars.
Yeah, everything Steve said. Ray says, Mike and Steve, according to James Jones, wide receiver, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented QB still at age 40 than Mahomes.
What kind of slapnut is James Jones?
He played with Rodgers. Some of these guys just are never going to give Mahomes the respect he deserves. It's not happening.
They can't do it, dude. It's like, show us on the doll where Mahomes hurt you. Because what it is a bunch of bitter assholes that are just tired of losing to Mahomes. Because
James Jones actually play for the Raiders, too, at the end of his career?
I don't care what James Jones did. He's an idiot. Absolute idiot. I'll tell you this right now. Aaron Rodgers was a super talented quarterback, but even at Aaron Rodgers' peak, Patrick Mahomes is better than that. And I think 3 Super Bowls to 1 proves it. And not to mention, Patrick Mahomes hasn't had freaking Devontae Adams to throw the football to. So, I mean, I'm not buying that.
Yeah, Bam I'm kind of curious.
Steve, I missed the beginning of the stream. How pissed were you about Mecole Hardman? Just again, real quick, not pissed, more confused. Like, it's like, whatever. I think Kay Wayne said this in the chat earlier, but he's a veteran, knows a playbook. It's just good camp competition. And I think that's the perspective I'm trying to take on this is maybe they're trying to use Mecole as, to stiffen up camp competition, to put a fire under Mecole Hardman and Kadarius Toney, and make them know they have to earn a spot on this team. No one's getting one given to them this year, and see if they can do what they got to do. I mean, otherwise it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just weird. Like, to me, after 5 years of seeing the same stuff and the fact that he's declined because Mecole Hardman was better his rookie season and his second season than he has been since, I just think it's kind of silly to keep on with him.
Yeah. So Mahomes versus Rodgers debate. Mahomes
the master debate.
He's played 7 years. He's got 28,000 yards, 28,424 yards, 219 touchdowns, 1 Offensive Player of the Year, 2 MVPs, 3 Super Bowl MVPs, 3 championships, 5 Pro Bowl selections. What a gaudy career. Okay, Aaron Rodgers, 17,000 yards compared to Mahomes' 28,000 yards.
That's not real.
Yeah.
All time, like his entire career?
No, his first 7 years.
Oh, okay, I was like,
Mahomes
what the
hasn't
hell?
played as much as ancient.
Okay, I get what you're doing. I get what you're doing now. I just blew my mind for a second.
No, Rodgers 132 touchdowns compared to Mahomes 219. I mean, come on, it's not even close.
No,
I don't even know if
Mahomes
he
is
won a
better.
Super Bowl in the first 7 years. I don't know if Green Bay won a Super Bowl before 2011.
He's only won one.
Now, look, I do know that Aaron Rodgers did not play a lot in his first 3 seasons. So comparing
Mahomes didn't
apples
play
to
his first
apples
season.
there. Yeah, Mahomes missed one too. So in 2 seasons, if you think that Aaron Rodgers is going to throw for 100 touchdowns and 100 touchdowns and 10,000 yards, I guess they're comparable. But
Yeah.
kinda
Kevin
funny.
Capel says Sky Moore's chance was last year. He couldn't stand out against the misfit receivers we had. I think that definitely hurt his stock. But then again, I just think 2 years and being out on a first round or second round draft pick, whether you're talking about Felix or Sky Moore, I just feel like it's too early. Like everybody's got to calm their tits a little bit.
I kind of think Sky Moore was hurt in his development because of our receiver room being so bad last year, because I think that caused a franticness with the receiver room. Mahomes lost so much trust with all of his receivers.
Well, another thing is that
They were rotating everybody.
That's what I
taking
was
people
gonna
out of
say.
Position.
They put too many damn receivers on the team last year, and they rotated
Yeah.
like they were a damn hockey team. Like no one could get in a groove. So I kind of agree with that too. I think it hurt him more than helped for that reason.
Yep, 100%. We got a 5-bomb from our boy Ron.
Let's go,
He said,
Ron.
Shady McCoy said Aaron Rodgers only has to claim the best regular season QB because he's always getting sent home. Yeah, that's
It's
true.
kind of true, right? Like, I mean, you can't deny the greatness of Aaron Rodgers.
Didn't
but
C.J. Stroud talk about this too? He said that Matt Stafford, if given the teams that Aaron Rodgers has had, Matt Stafford would have had 3 or 4 Super Bowls compared to Rodgers 1.
I would not argue that.
Matt Stafford's a good quarterback, and I don't think people talk about him enough.
No,
to be
I mean, he
honest,
was over there, busting
Yeah.
ass in Detroit for most of his career.
I think he's one of those quarterbacks that people just don't really give a lot of respect to, and I think Matt Stafford's pretty good. And it didn't help him, though. It didn't help him that he goes to L.A. He did win the Super Bowl in L.A., right?
So
But
he's got
look
just as
what-
many rings as Rodgers.
Yeah, and then look what Jared Goff come into Detroit and kind of turns that around.
That's not even fair, though, because did Matt Stafford have the players that they put around
True,
Jared
true.
Goff?
Right,
The only
and
thing
Stafford
Matt
did win
Stafford
in
ever
LA.
had, the only thing he ever had was Megatron, which is huge because he's one of the best receivers to ever do it. But it was for a short period of time, and there was no one around them. It was literally them.
When did Stafford get drafted?
Probably early 2000s.
Yeah, I know he come out of Georgia. Let me see. He was drafted of Matt Stafford's years. So in week 8 this year, he will be half through Stafford's career in week 8. Stafford missed. He played 10 games in his rookie year and then only 3 in his second year. So if you say Mahomes missed the whole
Did play his
first year,
It kind of evens out.
yeah, it kind of evens out. So 56,000. So Mahomes is on pace to have only 50 more touchdowns and
About the same yardage.
maybe 6,000 more yards. So I mean, look, and how good Mahomes is. We're talking about him, the greatest of all time, and he's only
Yeah.
that.
Stafford's a very underrated guy.
Yeah, Stafford's pretty wild, huh?
I mean, it was an extreme talent buried away in a crap hole franchise is what it was. But he was very loyal to him for the longest time.
Dude, even in Detroit, check this out, dude. His first year starting all 16 games in 2011, Stafford put up 5,000 passing yards and 41 touchdowns. That's insanity, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then he went to the Rams and did the same thing in 2021. 48, 86, and 41 touchdowns. Matt Stafford has had 2 years of 41 touchdowns.
Yeah. Everybody's screen's freezing.
Nuts, dude.
Did it stop? Are we good now? I keep
Oh,
seeing
no.
that in the chat. We froze, baby.
That's nuts. You don't talk about Stafford, baby. You freeze up. He's ice cold.
Yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, just kind of reiterate the things that we had to talk about tonight was prayers out to BJ Thompson. Terrible day. That's just not cool at all. Hopefully everything works out for him. So everybody keep him in your thoughts and prayers. And then the Mecole Hardman signing, trying to make sense of that. If you were not here earlier in the stream, you can go back and hear what we really had to say about all of that. Other than that, Mike, anything else going on in Chiefs Kingdom at all? Or are we just kind of waiting for mandatory OTAs and to get this offseason rolling?
Well, tomorrow, the Chiefs had to reschedule their practice today, so they're going to be on the field tomorrow. Practice is probably going to kick off around like noon to 1. And then we should hear from some coaches, maybe players, maybe some coaches. I know Andy will probably talk, maybe. But we get a little media tomorrow, so I'm sure we'll have some sound bites to talk about. It's just we're in the voluntary OTA phase, and then up next is going to be the mandatory OTAs. And, dude, it's June 6th. So think about it. After mandatory OTAs, I want to say they're next week. So we'll be all the way mid-June, which means we're getting ready to get to camp here in about a month and a half, dude. It's insane. Like, time's flying.
Yeah, for sure. Ray says, would you rather have Eli Manning's career or Aaron Rodgers? I think you have to go Eli. Like, I don't know. It depends. Are you one of those people that are worried about personal accolades?
Yeah. That was what C.J. Stroud said, wasn't it?
Right. I mean, if you're not worried about personal accolades, you have to take Eli Manning's career.
Was Eli Manning's career really like that bad? Like, everybody's talking like Eli Manning was like the most pedestrian quarterback ever in this situation.
I mean, that's the thing about it. I feel like he falls in that category to where it's like you can't quite put him in the great, but he did win 2 Super Bowls. So it's like he has to be in the conversation somewhat, but he doesn't hold a candle to a lot of the other guys in the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
He did take down Brady twice.
Yeah, and well, one at the, thank God he had Steve Spagnuolo in the house.
Oh yeah, what was
shut down? Possibly the best offense ever in the NFL.
Was Spags the one where the dude he throws it up deep and he pins it to his helmet like this?
Mario Manningham
comes down with it. Was that the Spags year or was that the other one?
I don't know. The year that Spags and then one is when like their D line was really good. I think they had Jason Pierre-Paul and I'm forgetting the other guy's name. It's slipping my mind, but they had a really good defensive line.
JPP pre-firework figure.
Yeah,
JPP.
Yeah. When he had his whole hand. Full hand JPP.
Okay, before we go, I want to know, Steve, what is your top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL right now? If you were starting a franchise and you could pick 5, like what are you going with? And we all know Mahomes is number 1. So who's your 2 through 5? With the premise that you're getting ready to start a franchise.
5 all time or in the league now?
Just in the league right this second.
Okay, my top 5. Mahomes 1.
I agree.
Number 2. This is tough, man, because I don't feel I can't put Joe Burrow there. I feel like peak Joe Burrow should be number 2, but you can't give it to him because he's yet to prove anything, and he stays hurt.
Honestly, he looks more and more like a system QB, don't he?
Yeah, and Josh Allen is such a choke artist. It's tough, man. I probably wouldn't put Lamar there either, just because
Lamar's going to come at you. He's going to make fun of your nose. Isn't that what he done today to Nick Wright?
No,
They're making fun of Nick Wright's nose on Twitter because he didn't put Lamar in his top 5.
How's Lamar making fun of anybody? He's the oddest looking dude I've ever seen, and he doesn't speak English.
Yeah.
Like
he's going to be over here trashing us now, bro.
Man, I swear, I don't even know what he says half the time. Let's go. I think if he could get over like just not being clutch whatsoever, Josh Allen has to be the second most talented guy in the league. He's an actual dual threat as opposed to Lamar. I feel like Lamar's more of just a running back style that can throw the ball occasionally, but Josh Allen's got a better arm than Lamar. And he's like bigger and more solid, so I don't have to worry about injuries as much with him as I do Lamar. I as much as I don't want to, I think you almost have to put Josh Allen at number 2. Number 3, I'm still gonna give the nod to Burrow, even though I'm not sold on him. I'm not. And then I would go probably Lamar, Stroud. That'd probably be my 5.
That's wild, dude. I don't know if
am I missing somebody?
I just don't know if I could take Stroud yet in my top 5.
Well, I don't want to put Purdy there yet.
Well, Purdy's has more successful seasons than Stroud at this point.
I understand, but Purdy's also very vanilla.
To me,
like
Stroud is. I think Stroud's going to take a little bit of a step back this year. I think you got some film on him,
I
and
think so,
defenses is
too,
going to come at
and-
him with they're going to give him the old cover 2 shell treatment. If that can fool Patrick Mahomes, they're going to come up with something that can fool C.J. Stroud, in my opinion.
For sure. Josh Allen's just a turnover machine, though. That's what hurts him. But I
What do you
still
have,
think you
17
have.
picks last year?
I still think you have to put him at 2. I like, who else are you? Would you really put Lamar or Joe Burrow over him? Like, I would want to lean Burrow if I had to pick. If I knew both of them were going to be healthy for their whole careers, and I got top notch A game, I might take Burrow. But I don't even trust Burrow to be on the field.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think I might. You got to put Burrow and Josh Allen, I think, has got to go in the top 5. Like 100%, they're in the top 5. I don't think I'll take Lamar Jackson as a top 5 quarterback in this league. I think his MVP season last year was all based off his run game and the dual threatness of it. I don't even think it was good numbers. Dude, Dak Prescott had a heck of a season last year, but it just don't pan out often.
So, like, the thing about Lamar is I feel like he might be the most athletic quarterback to ever play football. The only one that I might put above him is Michael Vick. Like, I feel like Vick was a better athlete.
Vick was pretty. I mean, he had
all
some
around
off-the-field stuff, but
right. But I mean, I don't know. That's a good. Well, that's funny. Cole Keller says Lamar is this generation's Michael Vick. Okay, well, since I brought this up and Cole brought this up as well, who do you think's better in their prime, Michael Vick or Lamar? Like, if you had to take one of those guys, start say their skill set, what their top skill set is. Who would you rather go with? I'm taking Vic.
Good one, man. I think I might take Vic, dude. Vic was dynamic. Lamar's good too. Like, I'm not trying to downplay Lamar.
I think Vic throws better than Lamar. Vic had a cannon.
I think he does have a better arm, right?
I think so. It's funny because I like Lamar don't do anything terrible, but I just don't feel like he's that good of a pocket quarterback. Have I seen him do it? Yes. And does he need to do it? No. But for some reason, it just throws me so far off track, like the way he plays the game of football. I don't know what it is.
I'm going to say number 1, Mahomes, and I'm going to say number 2. I'm going to go ahead and give number 2 Josh Allen.
I think you have to.
I still think you have to. I'm going to go ahead and give number 3. I'm still going to give it to Burrow. I still got to give it to Burrow, I think, at this point.
So you're right on track with me at this point.
Yeah. I think, though, where I'm going to differentiate here.
You're not going to take Lamar 4?
No. I think I'm going to go out of the box a little bit, and I'm either going to take, and I don't know which one to take. I think I'm leaning Tua, to be honest.
Absolutely not.
Tua could be a system quarterback,
Look,
but I think Tua
I like
well.
Tua. I like Tua as a person, but I would never, not a chance. I would take Lamar 100 times out of 100 over Tua.
I don't know if I do that.
Am I
don't
wrong?
know.
Somebody
Look,
throw that in the chat. Y'all put in the chat on that one because
I'm 100%.
I feel like that. I don't feel like
know
that's a
if I
contest.
I don't know if I take Lamar over Jared Goff if I want to run a team.
I think I would.
Yeah, well, how do you want to run your team? Do you want to run a high school offense or do you want to run an NFL offense?
That's true, but I think that's the thing. We've not seen Lamar with a coach that don't run a high school offense. Could you imagine what Lamar could do with Andy?
Could he?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he wouldn't be no
seen it. I
Mahomes
haven't
because he
seen
can't
it. I'm
throw
just
like
saying,
that. But
Jared Goff can flat out run a pro style offense. He's got a good arm. He's fine. Now, look, Jared Goff's not sexy. I get it. He's only 8 years old. We're at a premise that you're going to build a team with him.
Jared Goff is slightly underrated. I mean, he took 2 teams to the Super Bowl and won it. Could have very well won that. Did they? They didn't win that year.
Look, what about
who were they playing? That was the year that we had that crazy game in Mexico City.
What about
or was supposed to be?
What about Jordan Love? I know he's only had one good season, but I thought his season was just as good. You know,
I said 2 teams of the Super Bowl. I meant to the playoffs.
Jordan Love's season was pretty good last year. Like, it wasn't as good as C.J. Stroud's maybe, but
now if you're going like super young guys who could pan out, I think Jordan Love's in the conversation right there with Stroud, sort of.
How long did Jordan Love sit? Is he sit for what, 2-3 years?
2, I think. Dak Prescott, Bam. I think Dak had very good stats last year, but I still wouldn't put him on my top 5. Not a chance. Do I think he gets pooped on a little bit more than he should? Probably.
I think, honestly, Brock Purdy, you have to give him a little bit of respect here, right?
Yeah. I
don't
think
know that's kind of the same way I don't want to throw Stroud in the top 5. I don't think they've earned it just yet. Like, Mahomes has been in the league 7 years. Goff's been in the league 8 years. Tua's only been 4. He's kind of not won a big game. But look, Tua's not won a big game. Neither's Lamar Jackson.
Sam says Love's better than Dak or Jackson. Look, I like Jordan Love, and he's got, like, you know, he might make something of himself, but I definitely would not put him above Lamar Jackson. Not a chance. Chris Wright says Jalen Hurts. That's something that people would argue is a top 5 quarterback, but I don't.
I'm not a huge fan of him.
I feel like Jalen Hurts is like the great value version of Lamar. Like, he's basically a running back, and he's not that good.
I just don't prefer that style of quarterback. I don't prefer the run first. I don't like it.
That's my thing with Lamar, Mike, is what I was saying earlier. If he was in a different system and they could get him out of the run first mentality, I think he could be a better quarterback than he is now. He's not the worst passing quarterback in the world.
What we're learning is that it's not about – it's hard to say a definitive top 5. It's how you prefer your offense to be ran.
I think so. Everybody in the chat's kind of had different opinions, and I think that's just natural. I think at a certain point, like there's some that are inevitable. Patrick Mahomes has got to be your number 1, or else you don't know football.
Dude, a lot of people would probably not even say that.
Yeah, but that's just showing your ignorance at this point. But the rest of them's up for debate. I mean, honestly.
Who did you say was 4?
Lamar? I had Lamar at 4, and I had Stroud at 5, and I'm not sold on Stroud yet.
I don't
like.
I
think you could replace Stroud with a lot of different guys. Jared Goff's in the conversation. I think Tua is not in that conversation for me. I can't put him in the top 5. Like, I've got him behind Goff.
What's the reasoning behind Tua?
What's the reason for it?
Well, Tua had good numbers last year.
Yeah, I could have had good numbers throwing a screen pass to Tyreek Hill too.
He didn't do that, dude. He had a lot of deep bombs.
He throws ducks, bro.
He come back and beat Lamar Jackson in the middle of the season by just torching him in the fourth quarter. Throwing bombs. I don't know,
man. I just don't see it there.
And look, they say Tua can't win a big game. What's Lamar ever won? He chokes every year.
Yeah. I can't. I've taken Lamar 100 times.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I know, but I don't think he's in that. Like, I feel like there's different tiers. Obviously, there's tiers to this. I feel like I feel like he is obviously a tier 2 quarterback. Like, he's not top tier. I don't.
Gary's talking about Kyler Murray. We're not fans of Murray.
No. I feel like Caleb Williams has a chance of being the next Kyler Murray.
That's
where everybody just talks about him being so good, and he's got such a good
Nick
arm.
Wright named him the number 5 QB before he threw a pass.
That's absurd.
He put him over Lamar Jackson, I think.
That's absurd. That's wild.
Yeah, I think it's pretty absurd too.
Is there any other quarterbacks out there that even has an argument? Because I don't think there is.
Stafford
could be in the conversation.
But he's played 15 years, so on the premise that you're going to start a franchise.
Exactly. If you're just going by like career, then yeah, he's up there.
Honestly,
Herbert
is Dak Prescott that bad? Take what we've seen with Dak Prescott when his offense is fine and they play. Last year, he had good numbers, right? Take Dak, draft him to Andy Reid and the Chiefs, and do we have the same kind of similar? I mean, I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes by any means, but does he not give us a good chance to be winning the AFC West almost year in, year out under Andy Reid? Like, he's got the skills. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Brian Parrott's talking trash on my choices. He said they would be creamed corn behind this O-line and couldn't hit anybody but Hollywood or Kelsey. If Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and C.J. Stroud can't do it, then who? I just don't. Who else do you put there? Like a lot of people saying Herbert in the chat, but Herbert's proven that he can't even. He can't even win with freaking Keenan Allen, Mike Williams.
Look,
like,
Herbert was one. No, yeah, but his coach sucked.
I get that.
Brendan Staley was an idiot, dude. I could out-coach Brendan Staley.
Well, John Harbaugh's a moron, too.
Well, we're about to find out how bad that is.
If Harbaugh did not have Lamar, do you think he would have gotten to anywhere he's been? Because if you run that style of offense that he runs with somebody other than Lamar, you're screwed.
That's true. But I think, did they just position themselves to run that style of offense with Lamar?
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta evolve, and that's the reason why they couldn't even get over the hump this year. That's why the Chiefs went in there and bullied them and beat them to death, because you didn't even evolve, man. Like you've been doing the same crap for 5 years now. Of course, we knew what you were going to do.
Justin Herbert, or are you taking Jalen Hurts? If you had to start a team,
that right there is a good debate, right? I think that's a very good debate.
Go away, Baton. Damn it.
Would you take Herbert over? Would you take Herbert over Lamar?
No.
See, that's wild
Herbert.
to me. I think Herbert is a better NFL quarterback all around than Lamar.
Really? Show me where and how. And he's had better receivers than Lamar had.
Yeah, but Mike Williams is always injured.
Keenan Allen's one of the most consistent receivers to ever play.
And he done well with Keenan Allen, but two guys can't win. You got to have everybody to kick in there. You can't have a coach that's always making decisions based off of statistics.
Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce sure figured it out last year.
I'm just trying to say, dude, I think Justin Herbert's a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
No.
I would rather have Herbert any day because I'm going to run a pro-style offense. I'm not running that high school crap.
I think that Lamar could run a different offense.
If Andy Reid if Patrick Mahomes did not exist and Andy Reid had to pick between, you had to pick one of those two to run our offense the way Andy Reid does. You're taking Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely, 100%.
You're taking Lamar Jackson over Justin Herbert.
Yes, but you have to tell Lamar
you've got a bunch of speed demons. They're trying to get a deep ball thrown and everything, and you're going to take Lamar Jackson, noodle arm Lamar, who can't.
Well, think about this for a second. Do you realize how many games we've won because Patrick Mahomes has open lanes? Could you imagine if you could get Lamar to get out of the run first mentality, and then you had burners up the field stretching the field out, and you were like, "Hey, if it's open, take it." Lamar could run for 40 and 50 yards at a time.
But when it's open and he takes it, he's underthrowing him.
No, I'm just saying if the field opens up and there's a lane,
over
go.
Lamar to run this offense.
Not a chance.
I'll take Dak Prescott in this offense over Lamar Jackson.
You're wild for that.
I don't know how, dude. These dudes are proven gunslingers that can throw the ball around the yard. And Lamar Jackson is all wheels.
I know Mahomes can throw the ball over the yard, but did he have to the last 2 years to win the Super Bowl in this offense? No. That's been like one of the main things that haters bring up. One of the main things haters bring up on Mahomes is that he gets a bunch of yak. That he's a yak merchant.
I'd rather have Matt Stafford running this offense than Lamar Jackson.
You're wild, bro.
You want to bring Lamar in as a running back, I'll take it. Maybe a slot receiver.
I'm not saying bring in Lamar Jackson and let him run things the way that he does it now. I'm just saying if you have somebody like Andy Reid that's like, hey, Lamar, this is how we do things. You're not looking to run the ball every time you go back and take a snap. Like, you have to think, if Lamar only used his legs when it was absolutely necessary the way Mahomes does, he'd be dangerous as hell. Now, can he throw like Mahomes? No. But do you have to? Not necessarily. Not a whole lot of guys can. Like, arguably, nobody else in the league can throw like Mahomes does. I mean, you got some guys with strong arms like Allen and Herbert, but they don't do the things that Mahomes does. So, I don't know, man. I think you're throwing a little too much shade at Lamar.
I've had to deal with Lamar Jackson my entire life.
And
SOB played right up the road from me, and he was a thorn in my side. And I'm still looking at him.
Hey, Kentucky still beat Lamar.
But let me tell you something. I actually did take up for Lamar when he was drafted because everybody said he couldn't play the quarterback position. And I actually said, I think he will be a fine quarterback. Somebody should take him. And Harbaugh did, and it worked out okay. For me and the way I would want to run things and the way I feel like Andy's offense is, you need somebody that is smart that can pick a defense apart. Steve, you're getting lit
Wayne,
up.
what? What are you talking about?
Baby.
Dude, this is absurd.
Look, before we go,
the funny part is I don't even like Lamar Jackson that much, but this is crazy.
Into a Lamar shill over here.
I'm not. I'm just saying
Steve love Lamar today.
I'm just saying how you not have him in your top 5 quarterbacks in the league right now. That's all I'm saying.
No, I think he's like number 6. He's just outside my top 5. I think
I can even roll. I will even roll with that. But to compare him to Jamarcus Russell's just doing him dirty.
I think it's between Lamar and Tua for number 6. I'm just being a troll. I'm sorry. If I'm playing like Madden, I'd probably take him because, like you said, he's fast. Just get him on the corner.
I
don't know, man.
I don't know, man. I just don't see what Justin Herbert has done to make anyone think he's what, I think people overrate him big time.
Have they, though?
Yes.
But,
Yeah, what are you going to bring up? Oh, well, he threw the most in his first 2 years. That's just because Mahomes didn't play one. Like,
no,
big
I just
deal.
want to see what he's done. He's played 4 years. He has 17,000 yards, 114 touchdowns to 40 interceptions, and his QBR for 4 years, even as a rookie in there, is a 97 or a 95.7 QBR average.
And here's the thing about it.
He throws 3 touchdowns to 1 interception with a 96 QB rating.
How many freaking Pro Bowl teams have they put together over there? And every year they say they're going to win the AFC West, and every year they suck.
Well, they're playing Mahomes. They're playing Mahomes and Reed. You ain't winning that.
They weren't winning nothing.
Dude, put Josh Allen. He's number 2. He ain't winning it. He's going down. You can't compare him to the. I'm saying if Mahomes didn't exist and we needed a quarterback, and you're telling me Justin Herbert couldn't get the job done.
No, I'm not. There's lots of people I would take Herbert over, but he would not be at the top of my list.
If you can guess how tall Justin Herbert is, I'll concede that Lamar Jackson's better.
He's 6'5".
He's 6'6". I win this battle. Yes. Herbert wins.
I was close, though.
This is a fun debate. It's always fun, but there's no clear-cut answer there. It's just all.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's pick your poison, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Wayne Jamarcus could throw the football through the goalpost from like 70 or 80 yards on his knees, but he also never watched one shred of game tape or read a playbook.
Would you take Jameis Winston or Lamar Jackson?
What about Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence is one I thought about, and honestly, he looks like Kylo Ren a little bit.
Well, I mean, like the way that you're doing things, or the way you're kind of
prefacing the question,
prefacing this with if they got drafted to the Chiefs,
right?
Don't you think like Whacker 110 could have had a hell of a career? If he could have kept his wiener away from people's hands.
Look, he's getting that booty hole massaged too much.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. If he went to a different situation and he wasn't a horn dog, he wasn't a sexual predator, he could have run the offense decent here, I think. Like, no, not Mahomes level, but like.
I think this goes back to all the. You're kind of using the haters, the Mahomes haters. Well, it don't matter. Mahomes is a product of Andy Reid.
No. That's not what I'm saying whatsoever. But I'm just saying any of their careers could have been better in a different situation. I'm not saying they would run it the way Mahomes does or they would have won 3 Super Bowls, but I mean, they would have had a better career than they've had this far. Like the same way, like if Alex Smith would have kept being our quarterback for the next 4 years after he left, do you think Alex could have won a Super Bowl? That's been a debate. A lot of people think he couldn't have. I happen to think there's a chance he could have, but I mean, it's different levels,
Right. Last debate of the night: Jameis Winston or Kyler Murray? Who are you taking?
Oh, Kyler. Right now, if they were both like fresh, like Jameis was coming out of college, Kyler coming out of college, a lot of people would have probably went Kyler Murray. But I think Jameis has I don't know, man.
Who would you want to run the Chiefs' offense tomorrow if you had to?
Man, that's nasty.
I think I'm taking Jameis.
Kyler. I'll go Kyler.
Look, I'm going to take Jameis.
And I don't like Kyler Murray.
Speeches.
I don't like Kyler Murray at all, but
Plus,
I think I'll take him.
If you're having a bad day, you get back in the huddle, he pull a lobster out of his pants, and y'all just feast on that bad boy. Was that what it was? Yeah. A lobster or a crab or something?
Yeah.
He got crabs in his pants.
Brad says that good teams feast on Lamar. That's why he can't win in the postseason. It's easy to figure him out. It's the shit teams that don't know how to contain him that let him go nuts. There is some truth to that. But like I was saying earlier, I feel like if he's in a different system and he's not given the green light to just be a running back all the time, I think he would adapt. I think Lamar throws the ball well enough to run an offense like Andy does. Not to the level of Mahomes, don't get me wrong. I don't think there's any other Mahomes out there. I just think that I feel like Lamar could be a better player than he is now. Don't you? Am I wrong in saying that?
Look, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, Lamar just don't do it for me. Look, Tua. Let's just do this really quick. Tua, he's played 4 seasons, right? 4 seasons. Everybody said he's not proven he hasn't won nothing. Well, Lamar Jackson's not won nothing either. Okay. Tua's got 13,000 yards, 81 touchdowns, 37 picks, and a 97 QBR. Lamar, okay, so Tua's at 13,000. Lamar had 9,900 yards, so 10,000. He's 3,000 less. That's an entire season less than Tua. 84 touchdowns compared to Tua's 81. So he's got 3 more. But his interceptions is 31. That's actually less than Tua too. Tua had 37. So that's pretty wild. So the only thing Lamar doesn't do better than Tua is get passing yards, which is exactly what we said. He's a running back. So pick your poison there.
Right. That's why I was saying you had to get a coach that would make him throw more. Like, quit having the run-first mentality. Sam Lofton, I would not take Lamar over Mahomes. I didn't even take him over Josh Allen or Joe Burrow. So we could stop with that.
No, I think so.
Let's see. There's no other quarterbacks that even get in the conversation, though. That's about it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think that's probably going to wrap it up for the day, man. I'm tired. It's been a long day. We got some Chiefs stuff tomorrow to do, some OTA stuff, somebody's going to be on the mic. I'm not for sure who they're going to put out there, but we'll probably do that. Maybe live tweet it or something. But anyway, man, we appreciate everybody for coming in, all you guys that donated, Stephanie, Jared, Ron, Shane, Flapjack, Greg with the 50 bomb tonight, dude.
Let's
Rob.
go. Sam.
Antonia with a gifted membership. Sam Lofton with a 20. Brenda, HT Chiefs fans. Adam. That's about all of them. If I missed you, I'm sorry. But, yeah, all you guys, appreciate you. And it's probably going to do it. Steve, you got anything left for him?
No, man. Just thanks for everything. And be on the lookout for some more content coming up at the beginning of next week. So let's go, man. We're getting there. We're almost to mandatory OTAs, which will lead us into camp, which will lead us into preseason. Bear with it, man. We only got a couple months to go.
Well, I'm going to lead myself into a room that's not so hot. It's burning up in here.
You do that, and I'm gonna go go to sleep.
See you guys. Go
Later.
Chiefs.
Heaven was aside from my soul.